On November 8, 2016, California voters approved Proposition 64, the Control, Regulate, and Tax Adult Use of Marijuana Act. This act provides that effective November 9, 2016, certain sales of medical marijuana are exempt from sales and use tax. Effective January 1, 2018, a 15% excise tax is imposed on purchases of all marijuana and marijuana products. Additionally, a tax on cultivators of marijuana is imposed as follows. $9.25 per dry weight ounce of marijuana flowers and $2.75 per dry weight ounce of marijuana leaves. The amount of tax can seem daunting even for a profitable business. There's already been some proposed legislation to address the taxation of marijuana, and this area of law is continuing to evolve. Today, I am only going to cover some basics as they pertain to the Board of Equalization, the state taxing agency responsible for the sales and use tax. If you open a business in California that sells medical cannabis or cannabis-related products, or any other product, you must register with the Board of Equalization, or BOE, to obtain a seller's permit. You must also file sales and use tax returns. In California, all sales of tangible personal property are taxable unless the law provides a specific exemption. The law defines tangible personal property as an item that can be seen, weighed, measured, felt, or touched. Cannabis and cannabis-related products are generally considered tangible personal property and subject to tax. Please note that pursuant to Proposition 64, effective November 9, 2016, certain sales of medical marijuana may be exempt from sales and use tax. If you have a question about whether your business sales are exempt or perhaps part of them are exempt, you should consult with a tax lawyer. Use tax may be due when you purchase taxable items without payment of California tax from out-of-state vendors for use in California. You may owe use tax on items that you remove from your inventory and use in California if you do not pay tax when you purchase the items. Use tax may be due when you purchase taxable items without payment of California tax from out-of-state vendors for use in California. You may owe use tax on items that you remove from your own inventory and use in California if you did not pay tax when you purchased the items. You must obtain a seller's permit if you are engaged in business in California, intend to sell or lease items that are normally taxable if sold at retail, or intend to make sales for a limited period of time regardless of the number of locations. If you have multiple locations, you must register each location. If you are a cooperative, you must meet certain guidelines to qualify as such. There are also sales tax requirements. An attorney should be consulted if you are contemplating starting a cooperative or collective. You should consult with an attorney to determine your tax return filing deadlines and what notices are required if there are any changes to your business. If tax payments need to be made in cash, there are ways to arrange for this, and your tax lawyer can assist you in doing so. Dispensaries must also obtain a seller's permit. Sales are typically subject to tax unless a customer provides a valid medical marijuana identification card indicating that they are a qualified patient, or a caregiver for a qualified patient that possesses a valid physician's recommendation to use medical cannabis, along with a valid government-issued identification card. Purchases of items to be resold can be purchased without paying tax if the seller has timely provided a valid resale certificate. Sales tax will apply when the item is sold at retail. However, if the product is instead consumed, a use tax will be owed. You are required by state law to keep adequate records that are accurate enough so that the accuracy of the sales and use tax return can be determined, along with the amount of tax due. When growers and processors sell their product to a customer such as a dispensary, and the customer provides a valid and timely resale certificate, the sale is not subject to sales tax. Most items that you purchase for use in your business are subject to sales or use tax. However, certain supplies may not be taxable or may be partially exempt. For example, there is a partial exemption for certain farm equipment and machinery in some cases. If you have questions about this, you should consult with your tax lawyer. I hope this very brief summary is helpful to you and your entrepreneurial efforts. We will try to keep you up to date as this area of law continues to evolve.